Be ready. 5 seconds. Sir, we fully support the Constitution 127th Amendment Bill 2021. I also appreciate the amendment of Article 342A of the Constitution. The states enjoy the power to take care of the qualitative and quantitative difference between different classes to take ameliorative measures. Our Constitution is an effective tool of social transformation and removal of inequalities. It intends to wipe off tears from every eye. The social realities cannot be ignored and overlooked, while the Constitution aims at the comprehensive removal of disparities. The very purpose of providing reservation is to take care of disparities. There are unequals within the lists of the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and the socially and educationally backward classes. The aspiration of equal treatment of the lower strata, to whom the fruits of reservation have not effectively reached, remains a dream. At the same time, various castes, by and large, remain where they were, and they remain unequals. Are they destined to carry their backwardness till eternity? The state's obligation is to undertake the emancipation of the deprived sections of the community and eradicate the inequalities. When reservation creates inequalities within the reserved castes itself, it is required to be taken care of by the state, making subclassification and adopting a distributive justice method so that states' largesse does not concentrate in a few hands and equal justice to all is provided. It involves redistribution and reallocation of resources and opportunities and equitable access to all public and social goods to fulfill the very purpose of the constitutional mandate of equal justice to all. Providing a percentage of the reservation within permissible limit is within the powers of the state legislatures. It cannot be deprived of its concomitant power to make reasonable classification within the scheduled tribes, scheduled castes, and the socially and educationally backward classes. Sir, Bhupender Yadav ji has not placed the correct facts before this House. I have great respect for him, but I am sorry to point out that the then Government of India, headed by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri V.P. Singh, basing itself on the recommendations of the Mandal Commission, issued an office memorandum on August 13, 1990, purporting to extend reservation for socially and educationally backward classes in service with effect from August 7, 1990. The said memorandum itself created a hue and cry in the entire country. Many things happened after that. That memorandum was challenged in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court stayed it initially. Consequent to change in the government at the centre following the general election in the first half of 1991, a constitution bench of the Supreme Court sought the clear stand of the new government on the issue. The new government, headed by the then Honorable Prime Minister Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao, came out with a government memorandum with certain modifications on September 25, 1991, by introducing the economic criteria in grant of reservation by giving preference to the poorer sections of the SEBCs with a 2% quota and reserving another 10% of the vacancies in the civil services for economically backward classes. Now, the economic criteria were to be specified separately. Sir, this was adjudicated by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court struck down only Clause 6 of that memorandum. It also laid down the principle in paragraphs 860 and 861 of that judgment. Bhupender Yadav ji was saying that the concept of creamy layer was brought by them. I am very sorry. How can he say like that? The concept of creamy layer was first brought by the Honorable Supreme Court in Indra Sahni case. It was not there earlier. But the annual income limit for creamy layered was enhanced from time to time. That is a different matter. But the concept of creamy layer is not the property of any government. Sir, standing here, I must say that Indian democracy has developed over the years, and today India has become the number one democratic country due to two reasons. One is legislative functions which we perform in Parliament and state assemblies, and another important part is the Supreme Court of India, that is, the judiciary. The final interpreter of the Constitution is the Supreme Court of India. It enhances the law, and on the basis of the enhancement of the law, democracy has grown in our country, and we must accept that. The trinity of the goals of the Constitution, viz., socialism, secularism, and democracy, cannot be realized unless all sections of the society participate in the state power equally, irrespective of their caste, community, race, religion, and sex, and all discriminations in sharing of the state power made on those grounds should be eliminated by positive measures. Inequality ill favors fraternity, and unity remains a dream without fraternity. The goal enumerated in the preamble of the Constitution of fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation, will therefore remain unattainable so long as the equality of opportunity is not ensured to all. The social and political justice placed by the preamble of the Constitution to be secured to all citizens will remain a myth unless economic justice is first guaranteed to all. The liberty of thought and expression will also remain on paper in the face of economic deprivations. If they are not economically sound, how can there be liberty of thought of that section itself? This is a part of our Constitution. This is a fundamental right of our Constitution. One may agree, one may disagree, but everyone has a right to express his thoughts, and we must enhance them. We must bring them up. The concept of equality before law contemplates minimizing the inequalities in income and eliminating the inequalities taken. You will find it even in Part C of the Constitution. Therefore, the equality of economic income has been provided. This is an obligation of every state and the center. No grace is being given. you are discharging your obligation of securing equality of the weaker sections of the people, including socially and educationally backward.